This is the inside of Desert Diamond Arena, a premium location for concerts. And it's one of the major venues here in town, duking it out for a spot on someone's concert tour. In the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, ASU's Sun Devil Stadium was the spot for rock and roll stadium concerts here in the Valley. The Rolling Stones filmed Let's Spend the Night Together here in 1981. U2 shot their Rattle and Hum concert film here in '87. It seemed like every big tour stopped in Tempe.
As far as the stadiums go, ASU was the only one here, so it won by default.
Danny Zalesko remembers those days well. He was the biggest concert promoter in the desert and had a hand in lots of the shows that came to Arizona.
I loved it when I got Paul McCartney to play ASU for the first time.
I love deserts. It's very special when you come from Britain. Desert is like very groovy.
That was my first big stadium show that I got on my own with nobody else's help.
At Sun Devil Stadium.
Sun Devil Stadium. Tickets were $30.
But that was then, and this is now.
Things have got a little bit more corporatized for obvious reasons. That's where some of the money is.
Dale Adams is the general manager of Desert Diamond Arena, the former home of the Arizona Coyotes and one of a growing number of arenas that compete for a piece of the concert pie.
Let's call it a friendly, very competitive competition.
You guys all know each other.
Yeah, I know them guys really well.
Now, the Valley is home to 6 full-sized arenas, more than a dozen theaters, and State Farm Stadium has replaced Sun Devil Stadium as the destination for marquee stadium tours.
Developing a positive reputation in the industry for giving that positive experience is a big part of what gets you future events and future shows.
Andy Gorchov is the GM of State Farm Stadium. He says this year is shaping up to be the busiest year for concerts in the building's history.
It's all done locally. It's not done at the corporate level, you know. We're responsible locally here for booking the stadium. And it does come down to relationships, you know.
The sheer number of venues available in the Valley means there is usually space available for any act at any time. But the large number also carries some risk.
I don't know that there's enough inventory or content around for a building to be in business these days unless they're subsidized.
Danny Zalesko knows he's no longer the big dog in town.
I had a great run as #1 dog from the 80s through the 90s into the 2000s, and then things changed.
Names like Live Nation and AEG control an outsized chunk of the major concert tours. But Zalesko is still at it and still competing for every show he can.
I get upset when somebody who I've worked with before and nobody else has, and suddenly they're playing somewhere else and I don't even get a call. That pisses me off. That's going to make you crazy.
The competition is about to get even tougher. Sun Devil Stadium is about to get back into the concert business, meaning one more option for fans and bands here in the Valley. I'm Morgan Lowe for Arizona's Family.
Interesting stuff right there from Morgan.